Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I'm your trainer Ikra Khan, and today I'm going to explain you about the present perfect tense, right? So to understand the present perfect tense, first of all we need to understand the regular verbs and irregular verbs, right? I have already given you the complete explanation of the regular verbs and irregular verbs in our verbs topic, right? So I'm just giving you a little glance of these verbs. What are regular verbs? Regular verbs are those which ends with ed, which ends with what, which ends with ed, like watch, watched, watched, laugh, laughed, laughed, dance, danced, danced, wash, washed, washed, watch, watched, watched, look, looked, looked, close, close, close. Means regular verbs are those which ends with ed. You can see that with all the verb we are using ed at the end of the word, right? And what about irregular verbs? Irregular verbs are those which change their forms completely. What irregular verbs do, it changes their form completely. For example, have, had, had. Present simple form have, second form had, and the third form past participle form had. Go, went, gone. Win, won, won. Fly, flew, flown. Speak, spoke, spoken. Leave, left, left. Throw, threw, thrown. So these all are regular verbs and irregular verbs. You must be getting confused that why first of all that why I made you understand, why I'm making you understand about regular verbs and irregular verbs. Actually, in present perfect tense, we have to use past participle form. We have to use third form of the verb. Like these forms we have to use in our present perfect tense, right? हमने जो है ये वाली form हमने use करनी है present perfect tense में. So that is why first of all you need to understand these verbs. You have to learn all of these verbs. What is the structure of affirmative sentence? In affirmative sentence we use first of all subject, then we have two helping verbs over here, have and has, and then past participle form means third form of the verb, right? Have and has, you have we use with plural form, and has we use with singular form. Have we use I, you, we, they, and has we use with he, she, it, and any singular name, right? For example, I, subject, have. Because with I we use have, then third form of the verb, past participle form, read, 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 read. Here pronunciation are different. Here pronunciation are different, but spellings are same. Read, read, read. I have read the whole book. In the same way, while making negative sentence, what we need to do is we just have to put not. What we need to do is we just have to put not after our helping verb, like subject, then have, not. Or in contraction, we can say haven't, and has not contraction, hasn't, right? And then past participle form means third form of the verb. For example, I have not read the whole book, or I haven't read the whole book. What we did in our negative form, we only put not. What we used over here, we only used here not. After what? After helping verb, we use only not. In the same way, while making interrogative sentence, so in interrogative sentence, we have to use first of all our helping verb. We are starting the sentence, our helping verb, then subject, and then the past participle means third form of the verb. Past participle means third form of the verb. You have to remember one thing more, that in our present perfect tense, in perfect tense, whatever the perfect it is, whether it is present perfect, past perfect, or future perfect, whatever it is, you just have to put third form of the verb. You just have to put past participle form, right? So in our interrogative sentence, we use have I read the whole book. Have I read the whole book? So we use have in the starting of the sentence, right? So let's move to this chart now. affirmative sentences. These all are affirmative sentences, these all are non-negative, and these all are interrogative sentences. I just pick up the one word. With one word I make all the sentences with one word only. Okay, by using different subjects, I picked what I said right now. I just picked one word, and with one word I make all the sentences with different subjects, like I, you, he, she, it, we, they. For example, I have cleaned. While making negative, I have not cleaned. Interrogative, have I cleaned? Means with I used have. While making negative, I just put not after have. While making interrogative, I used have in the starting of the sentence. The same way with you. With you, we use have. You have cleaned. While making negative, you have not cleaned. And while making interrogative, have you cleaned? He has cleaned. He has not cleaned. Has he cleaned? With he, we use has. Remember one thing, that with he, with she, with it, and with any singular name, we use what? We use has. Understand? So she has cleaned. She has not cleaned. Has she cleaned? It has cleaned. It has not cleaned. Has it cleaned? With we, I, you, we, and they. With these four subjects, we use have. Alright? We have cleaned. We have not cleaned. Have we cleaned? They have cleaned. They have not cleaned. Have they cleaned? Means it is very easy to make negative and interrogative sentence. It was just we need to put not after our helping verbs. Okay? And while making interrogative sentence, we just need to use our helping verb before subject. Okay, so it's quite easy to understand. So what is the contraction of affirmation and negation? Like I have cleaned, I've cleaned. You have cleaned, you've cleaned. He has cleaned, he's cleaned. She has cleaned, she's cleaned. It has cleaned, it's cleaned. We have cleaned, we've cleaned. They have cleaned, they've cleaned. Means while making contraction, means हमने जब इनकी contraction बनानी हो, so instead of I have, you have to put I've. Instead of you have, we have to put you've. Instead of he has, we have to put his. Instead of she has, we have to put she's. We have to use apostrophe and use s. Instead of it has, we have to use its. Instead of we have, you have to use we've. Instead of they have, you have to use they've. Right? And while making negative का contraction बनाने के लिए, it means when we are going to make a contraction of our negative forms, what we need to do is I have not cleaned, I haven't cleaned. You have not, you haven't. Means not के बीच में हमने यहाँ पर apostrophe लगा देना. He has not cleaned, he hasn't cleaned. She has not cleaned, she hasn't cleaned. It has not cleaned, it hasn't cleaned. We have not cleaned, we haven't cleaned. They have not cleaned, they haven't cleaned. Hopefully you must have understand all of these contractions. Alright? These all are the sentences. We have read book. We haven't visited Islamabad. We have made a lot of mistakes. He has just gone out. Sarah has completed her homework. It's rain. They haven't talked to us on the phone. He's lived here in Karachi for 4 years. Now here is the usage of present perfect tense, that where we need to use it correctly. These all are the usage. To describe recently completed actions, where are important. Now For example, I have some bad news. I've lost my job. I can't play football tonight. I've hurt my leg. To express situations that start in the past and are still true. I've known James for 4 or 5 years. She has been the director of that company since 2007. Present perfect we use for unfinished actions. She has lived in London for 3 years. I've worked here for 6 months. We use present perfect tense for the life experiences. He hasn't traveled overseas before. I've been to Islamabad. We use present tense to express the present result. We use the present perfect tense to express the present result. I've lost my keys. John has missed the bus, so he'll be late. We also use present perfect tense to express things you have done in your life. I've been to England. She's now studying Japanese. We also use present perfect tense to express the number of times you have done something. I've been to Paris 3 times. How many times have you tried to call her? We also use present perfect tense for the news or recent events. The Queen has given a speech. We use this with just, yet, already, or recently. We can use these adverbs with present perfect tense. Hopefully, you must have understood this chapter. If you have any questions regarding this topic, you can comment below and I will help you out inshallah. Thank you so much. Take care.